Krishna Krishna Hare Ram 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 Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Krishna 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 Hare Ram
Shri Gaur Bhaktavind. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavind. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavind. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna everyone. So today is Sunday. It is 17th of March. It is Phalguna Masa or Govinda Masa, Sukla Paksham and Ashtami Tithi. So there are no Vishnu events in the calendar. We shall quickly move on to Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, Sukadeva Goswami is speaking to Parikshit Maharaj about how a learned person should be living, like giving very bad necessities to the human body and spend the time and the human energy only in the transcendental realization, self-realization, so in attaining the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So yesterday we have seen Sukadeva Goswami is giving so many options to live very happily without depending on anyone. Satcham chitau kim kasipoho prayasaihi baho susiddhyehi upabarhanaihi kim Satchanjalo kim puruda annapatriya digvalkyaladau patikim dukulaihi. While we have got enough land, why we need so many of cots, beds like that? And when we have got soft hands to keep under the head as a pillow, why do we need so many other bedsteads, pillows and all like that, comfortable things? And when we have got the two palms coming together, when it gives like a little pot, why do we need to hanker for so many other utensils? And we have got so many, 10 directions as a clothes, and also the 3 barks as a to cover the body. Why do we need to hanker for the so many clothes? For that, why one has to take so much of endeavor? So that is Parishram Tatra Samikshamanaha. One has to observe every moment, assess whether it is required or not. That is the simple way of living. So Sukadeva Goswami in that sequence, he is further saying to Parikshit Maharaj about further further about the clothing, again about the clothing, and also the food, and also the water, food and water, clothing, and also the shelter. And when we have got all these things, the clothing is when we go on the road, so there are so many clothes are there, torn clothes, so many other things, and we can take one of it and then self-satisfied. Why do one has to go and beg for clothing? And when there are so many trees, the fruit-bearing trees, when they're dropping the fruits from the trees, and why don't one can go and pick the fruits and eat it? And otherwise, one has to go and beg for some others. And when we have got so many rivers and lakes, why don't we go and drink water? Are they dried up? They are not giving any water. And when there are so many caves of the mountains, one can live happily there. Why one has to build so much of with cement bricks and everything and ruin the nature? And doesn't Lord give any shelter to that living entity who has given the body to maintain? Then why should a transcendentalist go and beg for from the people who are intoxicated with the hard-earned money, having some money, some opulence, they're intoxicated? Why transcendentalist will go and ask for anything? Likewise, he is establishing the position of a transcendentalist. And also, one doesn't need to depend at any circumstances on such kind of people intoxicated with the wealth and so much of other things, opulences. So likewise, Sukadeva Goswami is saying, we are in the second canto, chapter number 2, verse number 5. चीरानि किं पति न सन्ति दिशन्ति भिक्षां नैवाङ्घ्रिपाः परभृतः सरितोऽप्यसुष्यन् वृद्धाः गुहाः किम् अजितोवति नोपसन्नान् कस्मात् भजन्ति कवयो धनधुर्मधान्धान् चीरानि किं पति न सन्ति चीरानि is the torn clothes kimpati whether they are not available on the road kimpati nasanti they don't exist nasanti disanti bhiksham and disanti bhiksham are they not giving any alms what are they na evangri paha the trees the fruit bearing trees are they not giving the food दिशन्ति भिक्षां न एवाङ्घ्रिपाः परभृतः सरितो अपि असुष्यन् परभृतः सरितोप्यसुष्यन् the saritas or all the rivers api ashushyan are they dried up they are not giving any water to the who need in the water in the thirsty or the trees are not giving the fruits when they are hungry or the torn clothes are not available on the road चीराणि किंपति नसन्ति दिशन्ति भिक्षां नैवाङ्घ्रिपाः परभृतः सरितोऽप्यसुष्यन् वृद्धाः गुहाः किम् and वृद्धाः so whether this all the caves of the mountain are they closed and are they not giving any shelter to the people who are taking ajitovati nopasannan and ajito the supreme lord the Almighty Lord, Avati na upasannan, is he not arranged such kind of things? Na upasannan, upasannan is the one who is a surrendered soul to the Supreme Lord. Whether the Lord is not providing Avati na upasannan, whether he is not providing such kind of shelter to the living entities. Then, Kasmat bhajanti kavyo dhanadharmadandhan. Why should a transcendentalist so Kasmad, what for then bhajanti? He has to go and do glorify some kind of people who are intoxicated with bhajanti kavyo dhurmadandhan kavyoho the transcendentalist or the learned people kavyoho dana dhurmadandhan. What is the need to go and ask for depend on any people intoxicated with the wealth? So this is very completely giving independence to the transcendentalist. So these are it is practically available. So when the elephant is having all kinds of food, shelter and everything and drinking the water in the forest and Lord has arranged everything. That similarly the ant, a small living entity, it also has got its own things. These are not depending on the people or another elephant. One elephant is not depending on other ones. One ant is not depending on other ants. So everyone they are self-sufficient. The Lord depending on only the Lord. He arranges everything. Then when it comes to the human society, why not for human? So likewise, Sukadeva Goswami is giving very good insight. चीराणि किं पति न सन्ति दिशन्ति भिक्षां नैवाङ्घ्रिपाः परभृतः सरितोऽप्यसुष्यन् वृद्धाः गुहाः किम् अजितोवति नोपसन्नान् कस्मात् भजन्ति कवयो धनधर्मदान्धान्. So translation for this verse. Are there no torn clothes lying on the common road? Do the trees which exist for maintaining others no longer give alms in charity? Do the rivers being dried up no longer supply water to the thirsty? Are the caves of the mountain now closed? Or above all, does the Almighty Lord not protect the fully surrendered souls? Why then do the learned sages go to flatter those who are intoxicated by hard-earned wealth? Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Can I request Meena Mataji to read the purport?
The renounced order of life is never meant for beginning of living at the cost of others as a parasite. According to the dictionary, a parasite, a synconet who lives at the cost of society without making any contribution to that society. The renounced order to means for contributing something substantial to society and not depending on the earning of the householders. On the contra, acceptance of alms from the householder by the bona fide Medicaid is an opportunity offered by the saint for the tangible benefit of the donor. In the Sanatan Dharma, instructions almost sorry instruction alms giving to the medicated is part of a householder duty, and it is advised in the scriptures that the householder should treat the medicants as their family children and should provide them with food, clothing, extra, without being asked. Uh, Pursuit therefore should not take advantage of the charitable dispositions of the faithful householder. The first duty of a person in the renounced order of life is to contribute some literally work for the benefit of the human being in order to give him realize direction towards self-realization. Amongst the other duties in the renounced order of life of Srila Sanatan, Srila Rupa, and the other Goswami of Vrindavan, the foremost duty discharged by them was to hold learned discourses amongst themselves as Savak, as Savakunja, Sevakunja, Vrindavan, Vrindavan, Vrindavana, the spore where Sri Radha Damodar temple was established by Srila Jiva Goswami, and where the actual Samadhi tombs of Srila Rupa Goswami and Srila Jiva Goswami are laid. For the benefit of all the human society, they left behind them immense literature of transcendental importance. Similarly, all the Acharya who voluntarily accept the renounced order of life all aimed at benefiting human society and not at living a comfortable or irresponsible life at the cost of others. However, those who cannot give any contribution should not go to the householders for food. For such medicants asking bread from the householder are an insult to the highest order. Sukdev Goswami gave this warning especially for those medicants who a- a- adopt this line of profession to solve their economics problem. Such medicates are in evidence in the age of Kali. When a man become a medicate while, fully or by circumstances, he must be of he must be of firm faith and that the Supreme Lord is the maintenance of all living beings everywhere in the universe, why then would he neglect the maintenance of a surrendered soul who is living being everywhere? Yeah. Who is sent, present, engaged in the service of the Lord. A common master looks to the necessities of the servant, so how much more would the, how much more would the all-powerful, all-opulent Supreme Lord to look after the necessities of life for a fulfilled surrendered soul. The general rule is that a medicated devotee will accept a simple, small uh, loincloth without asking anyone to give it in charity. He simply salvages it from the reject or torn cloth throw in the street. When he is hungry, he may go to the magnanimous tree which drop fruit, and when he is thirsty, he may drink water from the river. River, he does not require to live in a comfortable houses comfortable house, but should find a cave in the hills and not be afraid of jungle animal, keeping faith in God who lives in everyone's heart. The Lord may detect to tiger and other jungle animal not to disturb his devotee. Haridas Thakur, a great devotee of Lord Sri Chaitanya, who used to live in such a cave, and by chance a great venomous snake was a cooperator snakes was a cooperator of the cave. Some admiral of Thakura Haridas, who had to visit the Thakura every day, feared the snake and suggested the Thakura leave that place because his devotees were afraid of the snake and they were regularly visiting the cave. Thakura Haridas agreed to the proposal on their account, but as soon as this was settled, the snake actually craved crawled out of its hole in the cave before everyone present and left the cave for good. By the by the detection of the Lord who lives also within the heart of the snake gave preference to Haridas and decided to leave the place and not disturb him. So this is a tangible example of how the Lord gives protection to a bona fide devotee like Thakur Haridas. According to the regulations of the Sanatan Dharma institutions, one is trained from the beginning to depend fully on the protection of the Lord in all circumstances. The path of renunciation is recommended for acceptance by one who is fully accomplished, accomplished and fully purified in his existence. This stage is described also in the Bhagavad Gita 16.5 as David Sapat. As David Sapat, a human being required to accumulate David Sapat or spiritual assets. Otherwise, the next alternative uh, asur, asur, sub, sorry, asuri sapat or material assets will overcome him this disproportionately, and there that and thus one will be forced into the in, intelligence of different miseries of the material world. A sannyasi should always live alone without company, and he must be fearless. He should never be afraid of living alone. Although he is never alone, the Lord is residing in And unless one is purified by the prescribed process, one one will feel that he is alone. But a man in the renounced order of all life must be purified by the process. Thus he will feel the presence of Lord everywhere and will have nothing to fear such as being without any company. Everyone can become a fearless and honest person if his very existence is purified by discharging the prescribed duty for each and every order of life. One can become fixed on in one prescribed duty by faithful oral receptions of Vedic instruction and assimilation of the essence of Vedic knowledge by devotional service to the Lord. Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you so much, Mataji. It is very long purport and explaining so many things. ज्ञानवैराग्ययुक्तेन भक्तियोगेन योगिनः क्षेमाय पादमूलं मे प्रविशन्ति अकुतो भयम्. So with the knowledge and detachment, Jnana-Vairag-Yuktena Bhakti-Yogena Yoginaha, the yogis will completely surrender to the Supreme Lord. Kshemaya Padamoolammi Pravishanti Akuto Bhayam. So they take the shelter of lotus feet of the Lord, and so they are fearless at all times. They depend only on the Lord, not anyone else. So here, this Sukadeva Goswami is saying, one doesn't have to depend on the people who are intoxicated by hard-earned wealth. So the learned sages, they do not go to such kind of people. So Prabhupada is explaining in this purport, very beautiful, and there is so many things, and bringing one of the, this is the Sanatana Dharma. And Prabhupada mentioning about the saints, they go to the door to door to give the knowledge of the Supreme Lord. And it is an opportunity for the householders to serve the saintly people. But nowadays, so many so-called saints who doesn't have any knowledge to give anything to the householders, such kind of people are more in this age of Kali. So Prabhupada it is a shame, Prabhupada mentioning that. But actually, if somewhere or other one has to enlighten a householder, if he is going for some kind of alms, and because he doesn't take anything for free, he's got Parivrajikacharya. And then Prabhupada in return, he was also saying about the Shad Goswamis. So they used to live they're the mendicants, and they have given immense immense literatures of transcendental importance, and they did not depend on anyone else. So they are always completely depending on the mercy of the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that one Dhira Dhira Jana Priyau Priyakarau Nirmatkarau Pujitau Shri Chaitanya Krupa Bharau Vibho Bharavahantarakau Vande Rupa Sanatanu Raghuyugau Shri Jiva Gopalakau. And only depending on the Sri Chaitanya Krupa Bharau, only on the mercy of the Lord. And what did they do? Nana Shastra Vicharanaika Nipunau Sadharma Samstapakau. And they have given immense literature, Vicharanaika Nipunau, they're the experts. And for what? Sadharma Samstapakau, to establish the religious principles. For what? Lokanam Hitakarinau, to do good for all the people. Lokanam, everyone. Tribhuvane Manyo Saranya Karau. So likewise, these Shad Goswamis, they're always intoxicating within the devotional service to Radha and Krishna. Radha Krishna Padaravinda Bhajananandena Mattalikau Vande Rupa Sanatanau Raghuyugau Shri Jiva Gopalakau. So that is the called a mendicant, and who is giving all the Nana Shastra to or all lokanam hitakarinam, for the people. They are all our well-wishers. That is the bona fide mendicant. And then further Prabhupada is also mentioning another one about him. A common master looks to the necessities of his servants, so how much more would be all-powerful, opulent Supreme Lord look after the necessities of life for a fully surrendered soul? Kshemaya Padamulami Pravishinti Akuto Bhayam. That's why he is always free. Devotee is always free from the fearfulness, knowing that the Supreme Lord will look after him. So likewise, when we see the Madhavendra Puri, he is always, he doesn't ask anyone. Whatever the food comes supplied by the Lord, he will accept it and live in such a way. And one day also we see that Madhavendra Puri, he did not have any milk, but Krishna only went there and with a pot of milk and gave him that. If anyone comes to our village, we don't let them go without food and water. So likewise, Krishna, he has given that milk in a pot. And then he says that I will come again in a minute. And then he just turned back. And then, but Madhavendra Puri, after he drank the milk and then waiting for the boy did not come. And later on, he realized. So that is a person, a devotee who is completely depending on the Supreme Lord. And Sukadeva Goswami is explaining about the food and water coming from the trees and the rivers. So for example, there is one tree. It is in Africa. It is a baobab tree, something like that. It grows very big. It gives very big fruit, and it also, if you just dig a hole within the tree, it gives the water, and it is as its trunk is so many meters wide. In such a way, people make a hole like a cave, and they live inside the hole. The tree gives the shelter. It gives the fruits to eat, which is so much of nutritious and protein, all kinds of things, and also it gives the water inside. Whenever it digs, and it keeps dropping the water from it. It has absorbed from the earth during the rainy season and giving it it grows very big. So it is baobab tree. Some in Africa still exist. People, it takes so many years to. That is the tree. That is the parivrataha. So who are depending on the Lord, like parivrataha sarito apyasushan. They're all to make others to live who are depending on them. So that is the Lord's arrangement. For the people in different circumstances, He arranges everything. So tree only give the shelter, water, and the food. What else we need? And some people, they have established a shop also within the tree itself, within that cave. That also we can see some in the YouTube. If you find it, we can find those details. There is a documentary on it. And then further, Prabhupada is mentioning about Haridas Thakura. He used to live in a cave where there was a snake, and the snake, in due course of time, it has left, giving an opportunity for the devotees who are going to visit Haridas Thakura to discuss the transcendental topics and devotional things. So the Lord, until then, Haridas Thakur and snake, they were there. They are not disturbed by themselves, within themselves. The Lord instructs within the heart of a snake or all other animals not to disturb his pure devotees. And then later on, that snake left. Prabhupada is mentioning that one. So that is the renunciation, the power of the renunciation, who is depending completely on the Lord. And so such kind of devotees are called Daivi Sampat. So Prabhupada bringing from 16.5 of Bhagavad Gita, they are the Daivi Sampat. It is the wealth of the divine qualities and divine blessings. And whereas other people who are intoxicated, Dhan Dharmadan Dhan, they are Asuri Sampat. They're having material assets. They're proud of their things. It will be, in due course of time, they will leave everything. That is not their wealth. So further, like Prabhupada is mentioning, sannyasi always live alone without any company. He must be fearless. So, but a man in the renounced order of life must be purified by the process. Thus, he will feel the presence of the Lord everywhere. Will have nothing to fear, such as beings without any company. So that is a person. He sees a pure devotee. He sees everywhere the Lord only. विद्या विनय संपन्नी ब्राह्मणे हविगस्तिनि शुनि चैव स्वपाके च पंडिताः समदर्शिनः. He sees the Lord everywhere, in the tree, in all other animals. He doesn't see anything else except the Lord in all the living entities. And also when we develop the devotional service, we worship the Lord in a temple, just to come to up to that point. After that, it becomes optional. But still, the charity, and Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, still one has to perform sad charity, sacrifices, and all kinds of things to purify themselves. If they are possible, if they are householders, still they can take that process until they live in a society. So that is all coming from Srila Prabhupada's beautiful purport. So one's prescribed duty by faithful oral reception of Vedic instructions and assimilation of the essence of Vedic knowledge by devotional service to the Lord. So that is from this verse. It is a very long one, but that's it for time conscious. So Chirani kim pati nasanti dishanti bhiksham naivangripaha parabrutaha sarito apyasushyan ruddhaha guhaha kim ajitovati nopasannan kasmad bhajanti kavayo dhanadhurmadandhan. That is from Srimad Bhagavatam. We shall quickly go into Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. So today it is letter to Shyamasundara, January 23rd, 1970, Los Angeles. Can I request if there is any unallocated devotee or who has not taken turn yet, or who would like to read? It's a small letter.
It's my turn, or like I don't know.
Yes, Mataji, you can read the letter as well.
My dear Sam Sundara, please accept my blessing. Regarding George money, Brahmanand talked with Gargamuni and informed him that 1 week ago the secretary of Mr. Clean's Epico recorded company called our temple and said that the check is ready for you. Please come and pick it up. In response to this, Rishi Kumar. In the response to this, Rishi Kumar went to that Eptico and they wanted to give him a check for $1,900, 1900. Rishi Kumar said that we were accepting a check for $19,000. So the check was mistaken and he did not receive the check. Then it is learned that 2 days ago the secretary of Mr. Killen phoned Brahmananda and submitted his regret that the checks would run wrongly as $1,900 and he would call him again for delivering the right check. But up to now there is no news from them. I do not know what is happening, but you may keep George informed about this fact, and if possible reply this letter. Your ever well wisher S.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Any takeaway point, Mataji?
Just like a misunderstanding of the check, they only deliver $1,900 instead of $19,000, and And then they have said, yeah, they made mistake, but then the check was not delivered, yeah. So like Prabhupada is he just writing to Gargamuni about informing about this, what is exactly happening.
Thank you, Mataji. Yeah, it is a small thing, but so one is the transparency. That is very important. Whatever we do in the devotional life, it is completely open secret. Everything is. So George promised that he is going to give $19,000 for printing Krishna book, and we need to inform George what is happening. So they mistakenly gave 1900 check instead of 19,000. So that is devotee. It is open book. It is transparent. Thank you so much, Mataji. That is from the Srila Prabhupada's letter. And dear devotees, if you have got any other reflections from this letter or Bhagavatam, kindly share. Any other points to add? Okay. Then that's from the letter and Bhagavatam. And from the announcements point of view, so on Tuesday we have got our preaching session with Jahna Kanya Mataji on Tuesday at 8 p.m. That is our upcoming event. I don't have any further updates. And dear devotees, if you have got any other updates or any events are going on, you want to share any temple updates, kindly share. Okay, if there are no further updates, then we shall go into our Ramayana. It is the fortnight now. So last week we did Shloka learning, and this week we continue reading the Ramayana. So we are in the prayer strength of the Lord Shankara's bow. So now Lord Ramachandra has lifted the bow, and it was wonderful. Okay, let us go into this one, understand. So this one. Janaka was amazed, and then later on, Janaka informed Dasharatha that Rama has lifted it and the bow was broken, and Sita Mata has given garland to Ramachandra, and then later Dasharatha with his minister Sumantra and other priests, and then taking them immediately in the next day, he traveled to Mithilapuri, and where Janaka and his family is there, and then they spoke about their lineages before marriages are arranged. Dasharatha spoke about his lineage, not directly, by his minister Sumantra. He has spoken the lineage of Dasharatha. So about when we are giving a bride and bridegroom coming together, first establish the where they are coming from. So from the Ikshwaku dynasty and Raghu dynasty. So Ramchandra coming in that lineage, and later on Janaka also he also established the lineage of Sita Mata. So Sita Mata is also coming from the same lineage like that. So this is have we seen this? Let me just show one thing. The Bhagavatam family tree. If anyone has got any idea on it. Bhagavatam family tree. Okay, so let me share that one. So actually, Rama and Sita, they are coming from only one dynasty, that is Ikshwaku dynasty only. their ancestor is only one father in the so many generations before. Share desktop, complete desktop. Bhagavatam family tree. So this is the okay. Coming. Got the Bhagavatam. Okay, so this is the Bhagavatam family tree. So here, if we see the Lord Ramachandra here, and then they are coming from the Ikshwaku. This is the Ikshwaku, and also Sita Mata is coming from here, Sita Devi, and then wife of Lord Rama, and then here, and then Janaka Sita's father, and then further many descendants. There is one more Janaka, and then on top there is a Nimi. Nimi also coming from the Ikshwaku. So this is Ikshwaku. So and then here is coming from here, Dilipa and all this, Rohita, many other. So only one lineage. This is they're both coming from Ikshwaku. So that is Ramayana lineage. So in that way, on that night, Dasharatha and Janaka, they were talking about the lineages of their forefathers and everyone. And so they say, Dasharatha says, I approve this marriage in every way, perform the ceremony under guidance of learned Brahmins. And so they, according to the Vedic injunctions. And so some, if there are errors that blight the marriage and create future difficulties for the couple. So this is Dasharatha's warning. So everything must be done perfectly according to the scriptural codes for the well-being of the couple, new couple. And Janaka issued instructions to his ministers, then sat with Dasharatha in great palace, and they spoke about the lineages, and Vasistha spoke about Rama's family lineage. And then after hearing Rama's ancestry, Janaka also recited Sita's genealogy, which began with Brahma. And then, so likewise, we have come up to this point. Now they have in the Mithila, everything is all auspicious now. It is the marriage of Lord Ramchandra and Sita Devi. And thousands of golden oil lamps lit up the hall as the crowds of Brahmins made their way out, all of them constantly uttering auspicious Vedic hymns. So this is when we are going to the Dhamas, all the time the Vedic hymns are going on. If we go to the Tirumala temple, there as soon as we enter we hear Om Namo Narayanaya. That sound always vibrating everywhere. And if we go to the Sri Ranga Kshetra, there also we see these vibrations all the time, constantly uttering these auspicious Vedic hymns. That is Dhamma. Now such kind of scenario is there in the home of Janaka. Okay, now let us see how that auspicious movement is going forward. So can I request dear devotees, every devotee take 3 paragraphs which is on the screen. We'll go in the alphabetical order. Hare Krishna, Gaurangi Mataji, would you like to read these 3 paragraphs?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. The following morning, Dasaratha rose early and performed the first ritual for invoking good fortune. He had his 4 sons brought before him and then gave to the Brahmin priest 100,000 cows on behalf of each of them. The emperor also distributed gold and uh, gu- gums games to the thousands of races assembled in Mithila to witness the wedding. The 4 princes uh, shaved their heads and dressed in silk robes, putting on brilliant jeweled uh, ornaments. Ornaments, surrounded by the 4 handsome and effulgent youths. Dasratha, Soni, like Brahma, surrounded by the uh, celestial um, gardens, uh, gardens of the 4 quarters. A great pavilion had been erected for the ceremony. Its walls were uh, constructed of marble and was superb on numerous pillars studded with sparkling gems. Uh, fragrant and brightly colored flower garlands were dropped everywhere, and the air was filled with the scent of black aloe incense. Large stands consisted of mahogany inlaid with coral and pearls holding rows of golden seeds surrounded the sacrificial area. Kings from all around the world, along with their ministers, filled the stands eager to see the wedding. The entire pavilion was crowded with the jubilant people who cried out, all glories to Rama and Sita. Hundreds of elderly Brahmins wearing simple loincloths and with clean white beards hanging from their left shoulders were seated around the sacrificial arena. They recited Vedic hymns continuously, and the melodic rise and fall of their material chanting filled the pavilions. Musical instruments played well. Expert singers sang the praises of Rama and Sita. The whole assembly appeared like an exuberant festival held in the heavens by the gods. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. So here in the it is explaining the situation and how this wedding ceremony is there. When there is a wedding, it so many days before it is arrangements, at least a month before. Many people are invitations to so many people and coming together and making the wedding jubilant. So here in this description, all is a palace. It is explaining all glorification of the palace. Everything is so opulent and jubilant, opulent, everything. And especially we see the Brahmins, they are reciting the Vedic hymns continuously, and the melodic rise and fall of their metrical chanting filled the pavilion. And musical instruments played, their expert singers sang the praises of Rama and Sita. All glories to Ram, all glories to Sita. So that is exuberant, exuberant festival held in the heavens by the gods. It is like that. And we also observe the Brahmins wearing the white thread on the shoulders. It is hanging from the left shoulders and coming down. That is the indication. And who is in the very simple loin clothes, white loin clothes. Still, we see in this wherever we go, the Brahmana schools, they simply having that attire. Okay, we shall move on. So now can I request Jahnakanya Mataji next to read further?
Hare Krishna. Dasharatha and his 4 sons approached the sacrificial fire, which was tended by Vashishta. When they were seated, the princes saw Sita and the other 3 princesses enter the arena. The princes' minds were captivated by the beauty of their wives-to-be, adorned with the shining silk garments, jewels, and gold ornaments. The princesses appeared like 4 goddesses descended from the celestial realm. They sat down opposite their intended spouses, glancing down shyly, and Vashishta immediately began the wedding ceremony. Janaka stepped forward, speaking in a voice choked with emotion. My dear Rama, I now give you Sita, my own beloved daughter, to be your assistant in all your religious duties. She will always remain exclusively devoted to you and will follow you like your own shadow. Take her hand in yours and accept her. I bless you both. Janaka took Rama's hand, and placed it over Sita's over Sita's. Vashishta sprinkled sanctified water over their clasped hands, signifying the confirmation of the gift of Sita. Holding Sita's hand, Rama led her slowly around the sacrificial fire, sacred fire. Hare Krishna.
Okay, one more.
Okay, from the upper reaches of the pavilion, the gods were heard to exclaim, "Excellent! Bravo!" Celestial flowers rained down upon Rama and Sita. The entire assembly of onlookers erupted with a shout of joy. Both Dasharath and Janaki looked very tearful eyes at the newlywed couple. Rama's complexion, resembling a celestial emerald, contracted the pure white features of Sita. They were both covered with golden flower petals, and their many jewels shone brilliantly. As they walked down in a hand around the fire, Sita looked down in shyness like while Rama smiled at the loudly cheering crowds in the pavilion. Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, beautiful, so beautiful. Golden petals. Well, I think it was always red petals. So there you have it. The god got golden petals. Wonderful. Haribo. So beautiful. Prabhu, I feel the emotion. Haribo.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji. So this is the ceremony of Rama and Sita. We are seeing through sound vibrations from the devotees. So, so so here the sacrificial fire. When we see this sacrificial fire, for example, in the Lord Narasimha's opening ceremony, that Mayapur temple. So there we see how opulent that fire sacrifice is going on. The similar kind of thing we also see here in the Ramayana. And Rama and Sita, they are having silk garments, and here Rama and all of his brothers, 4 brothers, they shaved their heads in the marriage, before the marriage, and then they have decorated with all these good clothes, and they are appearing like a gods from the sea. 4 goddesses descended from the celestial realm, and here Sita and Urimila and Shrutakirti, Mandhavi, they are the wives of Rama, Lakshmana, and Bharata and Shatrugna. So all are very beautifully. They are glancing down shyly, and Vasistha immediately began the wedding ceremony. Generally, women, what is the ornament of women is the shyness. As long as there is a shyness, it is the protecting shield for a woman, Prabhupada mentions. As long as if there is no shy, everything havoc will come out. So now here all the brides are so shy. So it is always suggested, and all from the Vedic we need to know that a woman always be humble, meek, and shy. That is her ornament. So that is the way. And then, so now here Janaka, he is saying about Rama, I give you Sita, oh my Rama. And then he blessed it, and she will follow you wherever you go. And that is for what? Assistant in all your religious principles and duties. It is not for a sense gratification, to assist in all your religious duties. That is very, very important. Not for some sense gratification. She will follow you like a shadow. And after that, I bless you both. And how it is happen? Take her hand in yours and accept her. And then later on, Janaka, what he did, taking hands, Rama hand, and placed it over Sita's hand. And then when they're holding the hands, Vasistha sprinkled sanctified water over their clasped hands. That is to make that relation strong forever, signifying the confirmation of the gift of Sita. So that we see, very carefully observe, it happens when we see auspicious marriages. And then taking the rounds, holding Sitarama led her slowly around the sacred fire. So fire is the witness of the Raman marriages. So generally it happens. Now all opulent. So this is beautifully explaining. So from the upper reaches of the pavilion, the gods were heard to exclaim, "Excellent, bravo! Everyone are pleased with the marriage of Rama and Sita." And the glorification, Rama's body is resembling celestial emerald. So likewise, all auspicious, everyone are loudly cheering crowds in the pavilion. And Sita Mata was looked down in shyness while Rama smiled. See, that is the beauty of it. Thank you, Mataji. Can I request next, Malati Mataji? Would you like to read? Hare Krishna, Malati Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Would you like to read?
Okay. Each of Rama's 3 brothers, one after another, in order of their seniority, took the hand of one of the other 3 princes. Lakshmana was united with the Urmila, Bharata with the Mandavi, and Shatrughan with the Shruti Kirti. The 3 effulgent princes, holding their brides' hands, went around the sacred fire along with the Janaka and the many sages. Cries of happiness filled the pavilion while the gods played their celestial drums. Beehives of Asparas danced and Gandharvas sang. The sages recited Vedic texts, and the blast of conch shells were heard everywhere. All those present in the assembly were lost in ecstasy. The ceremony ended at midday, and the kings and princes gradually retired to their tents, headed by Dasratha, Janaka, and the four newly married couples. The following day, Visva Amrit, after taking a permission from both the Dasratha and Janaka, left for the northern Himalayan range, his mind intent on the performance of asceticism. Janaka bestowed upon his daughter and dowry consisting of the hundreds of thousands of cows and an equal number of elephants, horses, chariots, and food soldiers. The king, whose wealth was virtually unlimited, gave away millions of pieces of silken and cotton textiles, tens of thousands of hand-woven carpets, heaps of gold, silver, and jewels, and hundreds of richly adorned maids for each other brides.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So, and here, Rama and Sita, and Lakshmana and Urmila, Bharata and Mandavi, Shatrugna and Srutakirti. They are the four couples now. And now marriages are performed and completed by midday. And then later on, everyone were departing from the marriage. And they retired to their tents, headed by Dasharatha and Janaka. And then after that, what we see here, Vishwamitra. So he came to Dasharatha and asking for Rama and Lakshmana for killing the Asuras when he was performing the sacrifice. And then from the sacrifice, he went to Mithila Nagara, and then after that, lifting the bow, and marriage is done. Now, Vishwamitra's job is done. After taking permission from Dasharatha and Janaka, he left for northern Himalayas to perform sacrifices, asceticism. Vishwamitra is he just came and then he knows everything, but now he wanted to engage himself in tapasya. And that's it, Vishwamitra's character for now in the Ramayana. But of course, there are further things beforehand and after, something like that. But so for this instance, his job is done, and then he leaves. And then the dowry is also, it is because when we give woman to a bride to the bridegroom, so we not only give a bridegroom has to bear all kinds of things that comes from bride. So like bride means generally women are they will be in the mode of passion, and passion in the sense they will have so many desires. So that we will discuss in a different thing. But yeah, so when the bridegroom is accepting it, the father, knowing about the daughter's comforts and everything else, he gives all the dowry to the bridegroom, and he gives all these things here. Okay, so that is the custom. Okay, we shall proceed further. Can I request next Meena Mataji?
Hare Krishna. Yeah, just talking about this dowry, like, now it's become like, it was like previously the king has everything and giving this to their daughters. But in the Kali Yuga, they're asking, like, other side, even whatever they have or not, to get the dowry. And then if they will not give, like, then daughter, like whoever lady, they will get punished from their, like, from their husband's side and things like that, especially in our caste. So I just thought
it comes with the knowledge. So knowledge, when the side of a bride and side of a bridegroom, If they have got that knowledge, the parents, then they don't go into the wrong directions. So where it is lacking, it is the jnanam. Jnanam comes from the Vedas. And how it comes? Educating in the schools. But the schools are not providing. That's why people are falling down. That is
Yeah,
the
because they are now asking the dowry, even that parents of the
yes.
daughters cannot afford, but they are asking, especially because we are just born in like Kshatriya caste. So if they don't give, then when the daughter get married, she has to be punished. But like previously, they was giving the dowry like king because they have Janaka had everything, and that's why he was giving. Dasratha never asked them to give,
Yes,
but
that is the
but now.
knowledge.
Yeah,
Knowledge of a parent, one side, other
mm,
side. If
yeah,
there,
because
as long as there is a jnanam, then they don't
mm,
ask for this kind of thing. They don't punish. They don't expect at all, and they will come. They will perform according to their status accordingly.
mm,
Otherwise, yeah, it is, everything is the system. So that's why
mm,
the Vedic education is very important.
yeah, the
And
very
I think
important.
Prabhupada mentioning that civilization is going in the very wrong direction. That is not a civilization, it is animalistic life. This is how it is happening. Everything is by voluntarily.
Mm.
Thank you.
Yeah, that is something was happening, but because this was happening in the past, like king, but because they don't get knowledge, they only think, okay, they was giving like to other daughters, so this will be has to be followed. Like even their daughters' parents have money or not, this has to be followed, but nobody has get the knowledge of like proper knowledge. So it was
Yes,
really
Mataji.
difficult. Yeah, so okay, sorry. I thought I just went. Mm. So after a few days, I can start from there.
Yes, Mataji.
After a few days, Dasratha left for Ayodhya, processing at the head of large army as the king, surrounded by his sons and the host of sages, was traveling along the road that led to Ayodhya. He suddenly saw a strange, ominous birds began to cry out fearfully and swooped low over their heads. Witnesses this foreboding sign, Dasratha's heart quailed and his mind became fearful. The king asked Vasishtha if he knew the cause of those omens. These signs portend some grave danger, replied the rishi, but here are group of deer crossing our path from left to right. This indicated our deliverance from that danger you should not fear. A fierce tempest blew up, the sun was enveloped in darkness, and the sky became black. Trees crashed to the ground, and the earth shook. A fearful dust storm swirled around the travelers, confounding their sense. They were rendered virtually unconscious. Suddenly, from out of the darkness appears the terrible sage Parshurama. He was dressed in tiger skin and had matted locks curled at the crown of his head. Dasratha and his followers immediately recognized him. Although a Brahmin, Parshurama was famous for his power, prowess as a fighter. In former ages, he had single-handedly overcome the world warriors, inheriting them by the millions. The sage had become enraged when his father was killed by warrior kings, and he wreaked an awful vengeance. He had ranged the globe, massacring the entire warriors class. He now stood before Dasratha holding a battle axe in one hand and in the other a fresh allowed arrow which resembled a streak of lightning. He was as tall as two men and he had upon his shoulder a great bow. appearing as indestructible as the fire of universal destruction. He blocked the path like an impassable mountain.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So now, as soon as Dasharatha is going from the Ayodhya, proceeding with his army, he sees the witnesses. These are called signs or omens. A strange omens. They say strange omen. So birds began to cry out fearfully and swoop low over their heads. And they are going on top of the army. And Dasharatha says, so at the time, Dasharatha immediately he's asking Vasistha, so what is the cause of these omens? What would happen? So knowing these omens, the signs portend some grave danger, Vasistha says. And also at the same time, groups of deer crossing our path from left to right. This indicates our deliverance from that danger. That means that danger will pass. So do not worry. It will come and go. So do not worry, Dasharatha. Likewise, Vasistha is, and then immediately they see the darkness and sky became black, trees crashed to the ground. So now there's storm and all these things are happening now really. So what is there appeared terrible sage Parashurama. Parashurama, he is the son of Jamadagni and Renuka. So Jamadagni and Vishwamitra, they are relatives. Vishwamitra, they are the relatives. So just they just something has happened. Just to show that lineage. So who is the? Okay, this is the. So here in this one, there is a lineage of Parashurama as well. Parashurama and Vishwamitra. So they are coming from, where is that one? In the Bhagavatam family tree, so they exist somewhere here. I would like to show that one, the relation between Vishwamitra and Parashurama. So they are, Vishwamitra's name is actually, he's a son of Gadi, or he's also called Gadi, I think. That's what I wanted to show. It is not clear, but once again, I have shared this one in the WhatsApp group. Maybe I'll do it once again later on. Okay. So here, Parashurama, he has appeared within that scene. And then what happened? So this one is just going here. I think okay, so here, Parashurama, he was dressed in the tiger skins and had matted locks. He was in a rampage, like killing all the Kshatriyas, massacring the entire warrior class. Because his father Jamadagni was killed by the Kartavirya Arjuna's children. Because Kartavirya Arjuna was killed by Parashurama, but it was in a battle. But Jamadagni was in the meditation, sitting in his posture. At that time, they came and then cut his head. That's why Parashurama is killing all the warriors. Yesterday also we had a little bit of glimpse of hearing of Parashurama. So here Parashu means it is a battle axe. That's why his name is Bhargava. So because he has got axe in his hand, so he's called Parashurama. Rama with a parashu in his hand. Bhargava became a Parashurama. So now he wanted to see. So he's as tall as two men. So now Dasharatha, people of Treta Yuga, in the Kali Yuga, people are of maximum 6 feet on an average. In the Dwapara Yuga, it goes a bit higher, maybe 10 feet or 12 feet, something like that. And then Treta Yuga, it goes further, at least 3 times. Likewise, the ages is 4.32 million years in the Kali Yuga and 8.64 million years of previous Yuga. And then likewise, it goes 2 times, 3 times, and 4 times when we go to Satya Yuga. So, but here, as of that age itself, and he was as tall as two men, and he had upon his shoulder a great bow, that is Vishnu Chapa. He blocked that path. So now we see what is going to happen. Parashurama, he is always having the parashu in his hand. He was in the rampage now. So can I request now, Saranya Mataji, would you like to read further?
Hare Krishna. The sages in Dasharatha's party quickly gathered together. They took water to wash Parashurama's feet and hands and offered him gentle words of welcome. Accepting the honor offered by the sages, Parashurama looked at Rama and said in grave voice, "O Rama, I have heard of your strength. By breaking Shiva's bow, you have performed an incredible feat. How can I, who has formed a great enmity with all various, tolerate hearing of such a prowess existing in a king? I have here another sacred bow, that is Vishnu. That's of Vishnu. Let us see your power now. Put this celestial arrow upon this bow and simply draw it to its full length. If you are able to accomplish this task, then I shall challenge you to single combat. When you stand on the battlefield and are swept away by the force of my weapons, you shall earn undying fame." Dasharatha threw up his hands in honor. Knowing well of Parashurama's power, he feared for Rama's life. He approached the sage with joined palms and threatened him to spare Rama. Paying no heed at all to the king, Parashurama continued to speak only to Rama. "Both the bow broken by you and this one here were constructed by the architect of gods, Vishwakarma. The one you sundered formerly belonged to Shiva. However, this one here was Vishnu's property. It is thus more powerful than the one you broke, for Vishnu is always Shiva's superior." Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. And that's one more paragraph.
Okay. Parashurama took the bow from his shoulder, which furrowed brows. He gazed at Rama with bloodshot eyes, not immediately recognizing the prince's divine identity. "The bow has been passed down from Vishnu to my ancestor and finally to me. I now offer it to you, O Rama, considering your sacred duty as a warrior to always accept a challenge. Exhibit now the strength of your arms."
Hare Krishna. Thank you,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
So now Parashurama wanted to test Rama. So he has heard about Rama's prowess, that he has killed so many demons, and he has lifted the Lord Shankara's bow, and it was also broken. That was coming from the demigods too, until Janaka. And now this Vishnu Chapa, it is coming from, so it was created, Lord Shankara's bow and this Vishnu's bow both were constructed by Vishwakarma. And this bow, Vishnu Chapa, also passed down from Vishnu to many ancestors and finally to Parashurama. So now he wanted to test. So far, Parashurama is not aware of Rama's divine identity. Okay, so we shall move on further. Can I request Usha Mataji now?
Hare Krishna. Parshurama held out the enormous bow. Rama, smiling slightly, stepped forward. I have heard of your tremendous feat in fighting and killing all the world's warriors 21 times. You have fully availed your father with this commendable action. Even as a child, Rama had been told the story of Parshurama. The many kings killed by the sage had become debauched, and it was by divine arrangement that they had been annihilated. As a sage, Parshurama had performed much asceticism and had finally been personally empowered by Vishnu himself. By dint of Vishnu's own desire and power, Parshurama had been able to exterminate the warrior class. Now Vishnu, appearing as Rama, again stood before the sage. He continued to speak, "You are a Brahmin sage and are therefore worthy of my worship. However, since you despise me, seeing me to belong to the warrior class, I shall now display to you my personal power of prowess." Rama seized the bow along with the blazing arrow from Parshurama's hand. He struck the bow in an instant and drew the arrow back to his ear. Looking angrily at Parshurama, he asked, "Where shall I discharge this deadly shaft, O sage? As you are my superior, I dare not aim it at you." Host of gods has assembled in the sky, seeing the celestial bow drawn in anger by Rama, and fearing that he may destroy the heavens, they cried out, "Vishnu, save us, save us." Hare Krishna. Thank you, Bhagavad.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Now, so Rama has taken that bow from, so here with so much of respect. So he's Rama's words like, you are a Brahmin sage and are therefore worthy of my worship. However, since you despise me, seeing me to belong to the warrior class, I shall now display to you my personal prowess. So Rama is saying to Parashurama. And since childhood, Rama has been hearing about the prowess of Parashurama. So, and all these warriors who were killed in the past, it is by the divine arrangement only. And here, Parashurama is one of the incarnations of Krishna. So that is the 16th incarnations we see in the first canto, third chapter. And here now, Rama has been hearing his prowess. So now what Rama has taken that bow and arrow and he is now seized and he is asking, where should I discharge this arrow? And also he is saying, as you are my superior, I dare not aim it at you. So I do not. So this is one thing. Okay, likewise, now there is very few lines only. We'll be at the end of Ramayana. We'll finish off this one. So I shall read this one. Hosts of gods had assembled in the sky, seeing the celestial bow down, drawn in anger by Rama, and fearing that he may destroy the heavens. They cried out, "Vishnu, save us, save us." Now, Rama, standing with the bow, blazed as brilliant as the sun, and Parashurama fell back in astonishment. He felt his own power completely eclipsed by Rama. Suddenly, realizing Rama's identity, so the sage spoke in flattering tones. You appear invincible, and I can understand that you must surely be the imperishable Vishnu himself. I accept defeat, but I am not shamed, as you are indeed the Lord of all the worlds. So now Parashurama understands. Parashurama recalled how Vishnu had long ago said he would come again to take back the divine energy he had given to the sage. The warrior sage folded his palms and said, O Rama, O all-powerful one, you have already divested me of my power and my pride. Please release this arrow upon my desires for heavenly pleasures and thereby burn them all to ashes. I wish only to serve you with all my material aspirations destroyed by you. I shall be fit to become your eternal servant. This is my deepest desire. So now, Lord Vishnu has taken his divine energy, which was given to the sage. So now Parashurama, he is not any more powerful. So that he is saying that Vishnu has long ago has said to himself. Now here, Parashurama doesn't have any material desires or aspirations, and he is asking Rama to use that arrow to destroy all of these material and heavenly pleasures, burn them all to ashes. So it is his deepest desire. And further, Parashurama bowed low before Rama, who then fired the fearful shaft. The sage immediately vanished along with the arrow. Then Varuna, the god of the waters, appeared, and Rama gave him the celestial bow to keep on behalf of the gods. So again, Rama is gave that bow to Varuna, so god of waters. So previously, when Arjuna has got this Gandiva, it was also Varuna only kept that bow, and Agnideva he has taken from Varuna and gave it to Arjuna. And now here also we see Rama is giving that bow, Vishnu Chapa, to Varuna to keep it on behalf of the gods. And the exchange between Rama and the sage was heard and understood only by Vasistha and a few other spiritually powerful Brahmins. The king and the others present had been wholly confounded by the events that had occurred. They were amazed and relieved to see that Rama had somehow appeased the sage. Everything again became calm and the party resumed their journey, soon approaching Ayodhya. Word had already reached Ayodhya of the approach of Dasharatha's party. Thousands of Brahmins and Syrians had come some miles out of the city to greet them. They stood along the wide roads, throwing rice grains and fresh green leaves in front of Dasharatha. Seated aboard his chariot, the emperor and his sons waved at the people. They moved slowly through the crowds and entered the city in state. It was decorated with flags and festoons and strewn all over with flowers. Trumpet fanfare sounded and joyous people thronged around the king's party as it went slowly along the main thoroughfare. So Dasharatha entered his own white marble palace, which resembled Mount Himavat. He was greeted by his wives, who had organized a ceremonious reception for their sons and new daughters-in-law. So after the greeting, the princess and princesses went to their respective palaces and began to enjoy life in Ayodhya exactly like the gods in heaven. After a few weeks, Dasharatha asked Bharata and Shatrugna to go to the kingdom of their father-in-law, Kushadwaja, who himself had no sons. The emperor instructed the princes to assist Kushadwaja in the affairs of state, along with their wives and a large army. Bharata and Shatrugna thereafter soon left the capital and went to Rajagraha, where Kushadwaja lived. Sri Ramchandra ki jai, Sita Ram Lakshmana Hanuman ki jai. So likewise, Rama and Sita and all, Lakshmana and Urmila, and Bharata and Mandavi, Shatrugna and Satyakirti, they married and living in the Ayodhya happily. And Dasharatha, so Mandavi and Satyakirti, they are the children of Kushadwaja. So here, sending again Bharata and Shatrugna to the home of Kushadwaja. So by the time Janaka's brother Kushadwaja, so it seems so this is the father-in-law to go to the kingdom of their father-in-law. So their marriage was happened in such a way, for him it is a very surprise. So Janaka's children, Sita and Urmila, it was fine, but on the instruction of Vishwamitra, he arranged Mandavi and Satyakita as the brides for the Bharata and Shatrugna. There was not much time to discuss, but now Dasharatha is sending Bharata and Shatrugna to go to the kingdom of their father-in-law because he doesn't have any sons. So likewise, now so Ayodhya is all opulent, everyone are happy, and Bharata and Shatrugna, they went to their father-in-law's home. So with that one, the chapter 4 is now completed. So next one is the crooked advice for Queen Kaikeyi. So the trail of strength is finished, and crooked advice for Queen Kaikeyi is going to be started after fortnight. Okay, so that is from Ramayana. Dear devotees, if you have got any other updates you wanted to share, any realizations, comments, anything on this part chapter, kindly share.
So Parshurama is also incarnation of God, isn't it? Like
Yes, yes,
like God become like in there when they are each other.
Yes, that's two incarnations come together, and for example, if we see Vyasadeva, Parashurama, and Krishna, and who else? So at the same time, they also come together. Here, Rama and Parashurama. Parashurama has seen many other incarnations as well.
But still, like Rama is more powerful than Parshurama because he's the even though it's God himself. Both.
Yeah. Yes.
So he defeated Parshurama.
Yes, Mataji. So that is whenever he comes, he will be with some kind of Kala avataras, Sekyavesh avataras. So this is avatare Shodasami Pasyan Brahma Druho Nrupan Trisapta Kupito Nikshatrama Akaron Mahim. This is the Parashurama who is appearing in the family lineage of Bhrugupati and annihilated administrative class. This is the 16th incarnation. So all these things we could say Vyasadeva, Narada Muni is also incarnation, and Vyasadeva, they're coming together, and Parashurama and Krishna, they are all coming and meeting. See how many incarnations coming together. And when Krishna comes in full opulence, it is Param Brahma, and he is the Swayam Bhagavan. Krishna to Bhagavan Swayam. Hete cham shakalaha pumsaha Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. And Rama, he appeared on the later on 17th incarnation. So after Parashurama, this is it is 18th incarnation. So this is Naradevatvam Apannaha Surakari Chikeshaya Samudra Nigrahadini Chakre Viryanataha Swai Viryanyataha Param. It is to carry out the demigods activity. So he appeared as in the form of human. That is Ramachandra, Rama, and Parashurama, and there are who else? And also Narada Muni. So they were coming together in occasionally. That also we see. So it is kind of a.
But Narad Muni is everywhere, like all.
Yes.
And yeah, it's all incarnation. But in the Ramayana, we not heard anything about Narad Muni. Isn't it? Or did we? Yeah, I don't know.
So Narada Muni, so far we have not seen, but we will see Narada Muni's character also later on.
In Ramayana, Narad Muni. Correct.
Yeah, Narada Muni is there even in the Ramayana as well.
Okay.
That may we would see him later on.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Any other comments or sharing information?
Oh, Krishna Prabhu, thank you so much. It's very nice to be here about the Rama's and Sita's wedding and then all the four brothers. So it's so beautiful. It's so nice to be here. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. So it's not much philosophy, but the way it is Ramayana, the moments of Ramachandra at every moment, that is what it is. We can take it. We can also follow in the Rama's footsteps. Exactly, it is the way of life. Thank you, Mataji. Gauringi Mataji, Malati Mataji, you wanted to share anything?
देव्याय नामा वृंदाय तुलसी देव्याय नामा
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Everybody, Mataji, all glories to Sri Rama. I don't know how to sharing and how to explain. So you explained very nicely, Prabhuji, for Lord Rama wedding ceremony program and them Rama, Chandra, Satrughna, Bharat, Lakshman, all of they got married. Then they have. Mataji, and they had a wife. Then you describe all of them so very nicely, Prabhuji, and very nice. We heard about Lord Ramchandra marriage ceremony and Raja Dasratha gave lot of thing to his uh, I don't say, I cannot say Prabhuji. And they gave Brahmana and all public some Rishi Munis. He gave to lot of things, goes, seva, everything. And then Swarna Mudas, like that. Prabhuji. So very nice, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. You give always very kindly share Lord Rama or Lord Krishna's everything, Prabhuji. You sharing so nicely, Prabhuji. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So you know everything and remembering those things that Dasharatha have given. He has given so much of charity to Brahmins and everyone for the auspiciousness of his children. So that is, and also Janaka as well. Giving in charity, it will purify even the great souls. Krishna mentions in the 17th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. One has to keep carrying on as long as when he is in the householder life. Brahmachari, he doesn't have anything. Sannyasi, he doesn't have anything. Vanaprastha, he is renouncing. So he is ready to live the family life, practicing detachment. So he doesn't have much, though he might have little, he could give. But householder, he has to perform this kind of charity for his purification purposes. That we learn from the personal examples. of Janaka and Dasharatha. So Krishna also mentioned, being in the household life, Janaka has performed yad yada charati sreshtaha tat tad devetaro naraha sayat pramanam kurute loka tad anuvartate. Whenever great souls perform their activities by example, everyone will follow, like Janaka. So Janaka's name was presented by Krishna to Arjuna. Okay, so that is Ramayana. Malati Mataji, would you like to share anything? So that is then for now. In that case, if you are all happy, dear devotees, we shall conclude our session and continue with further japa. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंतकोटि वैष्णव भक्तवृंद की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्ण।
Thank you, Prabhu.
कृष्ण, थैंक यू माता जी। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि